Hello, Mouse Planet. Alan Delinka, and wow, look at the timing on that. The castle has just started the new holiday projection lighting, and I've got a little new trick here. I'm actually not even holding the camera. I've got a friend shooting on their phone, somebody you guys have seen on our show. I don't know if he wants to be identified. We'll let him stay there silently. But I will walk into the shot and show you that here I am, Alan Delinka live at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I get a little light off of my phone. How does that work? So, how are folks around the country, around the world tonight? Alan Delinka live at Disney's Hollywood Studios. No, Alan Delinka live at the Magic Kingdom. Yesterday was Hollywood Studios. And Magic Kingdom is pretty darn crowded tonight. It's really quite interesting to see it this crowded tonight. You know, Bob Chapek said they were increasing capacity to 35%, and I'd say that's really what they've done. And let me... let's see. There we go. You see, that says I'm muted, but hopefully you can all hear me because we're playing some games here where I'm on one phone and I got somebody else shooting on another phone. So there's the projections from the side. The hub is very crowded. I'm not going to go to the hub right now. I'm looking to see if anybody's commenting, but I'm not seeing any comments or questions. And I just lost my external lighting. There's my external lighting. How's that? So we got all sorts of effects going on. And the camera I'm looking at is over here, which is my camera, but my lighting person's over here. Boy, it's like we almost have a crew now. So I've seen the Santa Cavalcade, the Philharmonic Cavalcade with the toy soldiers, and Mickey and Friends with the Christmas tree. And we'll get some pictures up of all that. I think I posted the Santa picture on our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Twitter. And I'm not sure what else there is to say. The park is all decorated for the holidays. We shared that before the holiday celebrations actually started. This is the first time we've been here for nighttime projections. And the projections don't come with a show. They're just projections. The projections are slightly animated. And I see somebody's joining us. Who's joining us? I see Todd Pickering is joining us. Let me add Todd to the stream. Hello, Todd Pickering.
Hello, Alan Delinka. Look what you did to the castle. That is so cool.
Isn't that neat? And you can now talk because, as you can see, I'm not looking at my camera, and so I can't see you. But it's pretty cool. Has it changed? Nope, it's still the same.
So you rigged it so it can change? This is the work we do at Mouse Planet, people. Alan's been working all day to make the castle do that.
Well, I was going to say the rigging I've done is that I've got a camera person and a light person tonight.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah, here's my phone over here. Let's see if I can put it through the frame. I'm frozen, aren't I?
You are frozen, but I can hear you perfectly, which is good.
Interesting. So Dave's phone is frozen. So that's no good. So I can fix mine to show my camera.
So how was it?
Todd's moving, but am I moving? I'm not moving.
You are.
No,
I'm
you're
moving.
not.
I'm not moving on my screen. How about here?
Yeah, that other screen's now there's three screens. There you go.
That's my camera. And Dave, there's the back of my head. How about that?
That's so weird.
All right, oops, I just muted my camera. I'm gonna remove the other Alan Delinka from the stream and thank him for helping us.
Oh.
I'm gonna remove him from the stream. There we go.
There you go. So how was it today, Alan?
I can lose the light behind me too. I don't need it. So if I turn this, there we go.
Nice. Now so it changes?
Yeah, I think there are 2 or 3 different backdrops from what I've seen folks post. And I know the lights back here, you can start to see the spotlights behind. They get pretty darn bright because I can see those over at my house. Because I live back over my left shoulder.
Cool. So
what's also really cool, how do you see the moon? The moon is just awesome tonight.
Yeah, it shows up because sometimes it doesn't show up on screen that well, but that's really cool. So how was your day in the Magic Kingdom? Did you ride anything? Get on any attractions?
No, I came here late in the afternoon. I came here at around 4 o'clock and I saw the cavalcades, which was the main reason I came over.
Cool.
And now I've seen the castle lighting. Dave, you can turn that off. You're no longer part of the stream.
How often do the cavalcades go?
They were coming every few minutes, which was nice because that was my main purpose for coming over. The cavalcades were spaced 5 or 10 minutes in between the cavalcades.
So they have them kind of going all day long almost, it sounds like.
No, I think they take breaks. I just timed my visit well. Um, it was interesting because my big criticism over at Hollywood Studios yesterday was that social distancing is starting to break down and crowd levels are starting to go up. And tonight at Magic Kingdom, it feels very much like that.
So they've increased capacity, correct?
Yeah. Oh, and there's the moon and the castle in the same shot. How's that?
Beautiful.
Bob Chapek said in the earnings call the other day that they felt comfortable bringing the number up to 35%. And
Interesting.
I've got to say, at studios, that felt very crowded yesterday, if that's what they've reached already. And at Magic Kingdom, during the cavalcades tonight, I found what was a good isolated space and then got surrounded. And right
Correct.
now, as you can see, we're off to the side of the castle because the groups in front of the hub are just massive.
Yeah, and the castle looks great. I like the castles from that angle. And even if you just go a little bit more in front, it's almost perfect. And there's really good pictures because there's your tip, everybody, when you're at Disneyland or Magic Kingdom, go off to one of the sides and the castle looks fantastic.
Well, and
on those side angles.
Here at Magic Kingdom, when they designed the projection system for it originally, they kept adding more and more projectors to the sides. So right now I'm on the Tomorrowland. Well, I'm not even on the complete Tomorrowland side. There's two spokes off of the hub. One goes to the connection between Tomorrowland and Fantasyland here, and then the next one goes to Tomorrowland. So I'm on the one closer to on the border of Fantasyland, near where Merida from Brave appears.
Yeah.
At the far end of the Sunny Eclipses restaurant.
Well, that's the difference too between Magic Kingdom and the castle views are great from the sides, but you can't see the projections unless you're right there in the hub. So
right, and so I was going to say on the Adventureland side, actually the Liberty Square side and the Adventureland side, both of those bridges provide nice views of the castle as well. Particularly the Liberty Square one. That's one of those places where I often will take the picture of the castle reflecting into the water, and they've installed all the projectors over in Liberty Square too. So
you've got the height.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Our castle is much taller here in Florida.
Absolutely. So, So my recall, though, is Hollywood Studios is definitely, or the Disney, what is it? Disney Hollywood Studios is definitely the smallest park as far as crampedness. And I seem to recall that over the pavilions and Epcot seem a little cramped. But
Disney's Hollywood Studios is the smallest park in terms of acreage or square footage or whatever the area measure is. It's funny because in the history of the park, that park was an afterthought.
Sure.
That was what Michael Eisner decided to build when he heard Universal was building a competing property here in Orlando. And so that park always started out small, was originally designed to be a production facility, and slowly the production facility gave way to more public theme park space. And that's still very reflected in the footprint of the park today. So some of the walkways are not particularly wide. The park with the widest walkways, of course, is Epcot. It was designed as a broad, expansive place, and it still is. Some of the pavilions are smaller, but most of the plazas are pretty big and comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, we just went into more, all of our counties are pretty much in lockdown, except for a handful of the very, very small ones. So any place with population in California, pretty much, I'm not sure about San Francisco, but otherwise every place with population is, more restricted. So
is it like a full stay at home like it was towards the beginning of the pandemic, or is it avoid crowds of a certain size, or what exactly is the limitation?
Well, what they're changing, so I don't know what they're doing to Downtown Disney. It'll be interesting, but no indoor dining whatsoever. And they were dining indoors at Tortilla Joe's and at Jazz Kitchen, although Jazz Kitchen has those airy outdoorsy areas. So, what classifies that is my question. So that restriction went into place again. So I assume that everything is outdoors on Buena Vista Street. So I assume it's opening on Thursday, and I will be trying to go there. So
You and the rest of Southern California.
yeah, I'm not working this week. So yeah,
Let's see if I
I'll
can
try to go
if I
there
can
some
show
point.
off the searchlights a little more here.
Oh, cool.
I think they're Can you see them, or are they disappearing?
I don't see them.
Yeah, they only come back into view when I get the castle on the screen.
So have you gone on? Oh, I can see it there. Yeah. Have you gone
Yeah.
on any attractions, period, this whole time? I
I,
think you said you went
I
on the
was on
safari.
I was on Rise of the Resistance yesterday at Hollywood Studios. I've ridden Soarin', I've ridden Flight of Passage, and the Safari, and that's it.
So Rise of the Resistance, that one has lots of narrow, unsocial distance area. How did that work? Like in your vehicle, were you the only person in a row?
Yeah, and they installed plastic between the rows. So
Oh,
there were
front and back
the
though.
vehicle normally holds 8, and the front row holds 4, and the second row holds 4. And I was alone in the front row, and there was a plastic sheet between me and the 2 guys behind me.
So only parties that are together can. So they would seat 8 if the party was a party of 8. Is that the point?
Yeah, they'd put all 8 on the vehicle,
Got it.
but it would still be 4 and 4.
And then how many people do they put on the room before you enter, which would be one of the smallest areas?
All right, so just like before, where you're sorted into colored groups before you board the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
there were colored groups assigned based on how many were in your party, and the interrogation room had big colored dots on the floor.
Ah,
So one person was told to go to the gold dot. That was me. One person, another single rider went to the silver dot. There were a certain number of dots, and there weren't
got
more
it.
than like 10 people, or the ride vehicles total that you board have up to 16 seats. So in theory, you could have up to 16 people in that room, I suppose.
Right. That's my question. That was my question. I
But
wondered.
I didn't experience that. I certainly didn't see that.
Interesting. So it sounds like they're doing a great job, and so that Disneyland certainly has that footprint.
Well, and I'm curious to see how good of a job this increased capacity is, because it's busy. It's busy. I was going to say maybe I'll walk to the hub and show that view, and I'm looking out this way, and I don't know if you can see the people,
Yep.
but it's busy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see through because of the lights, but it's still hard to. It's interesting, like the pictures you were posting yesterday. I don't know how many you posted on our social media, but one of our Mouse Planeteers is like, "Oh, it looks really empty," and you're like, "Yeah, that's because a cavalcade's coming through." So
That's
photos
right.
are hard
That's right.
to tell.
And the interesting thing is, yeah, you can find empty spots. Right now, I'm on the bridge, and this area of the bridge, you see, I won't show my friends who don't want to be on camera. There's nobody over here. I can shoot back this way
Yeah.
and there's nobody over this way. There's just Space People, Starlight Cafe, a couple people coming out. And there's Merida's Meet and Greet, which is closed. I don't know if you can see it in the dark, and the teacups are off in the distance there.
Cool.
But we come back towards the castle, and I'm across water from people, so that's nice. But you go back that way, and that's Main Street over there, and I got to go that way to get back to my car, and there's a lot of people over there.
Well, and the science is as long as you're moving, you're better off. So
Well, but I've also got to take a monorail or a ferry boat back to the other side of the Seven Seas Lagoon.
and how is that working with crowds?
Well, I haven't joined with a crowd. I've only come to the park when it was empty coming. And so it's just one person per section of the monorail, and they've divided each monorail car into 2 sections with a curtain between. And the ferry boat had a bunch of dots on the seats and on the railing, and it's like one party here, one party there.
So there were no dopies or sleepies or grumpies?
Where?
Just docs?
Just dots.
Just docs. See
Not
what
doc.
I did there?
Oh, God, Tom. All right, I'm putting you back on the screen. Let's see, that would be that button there. So what sort of hat are you wearing this evening?
Well, I'm wearing my Dapper shirt, so I'm wearing my matching hat.
Oh, wait, the castle's changing. Hang on.
Cool. Ooh.
So how do I solo that back up?
Well, I look great next to it, so do what you
do
want.
look very nice, Beck, but yeah, the castle has a very different look now.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you can see it well, is what my point was. That doesn't really make it much bigger. That's fantastic.
You can see there's little animations happening.
Well, it's hard to... Oh, it just changed color again.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's animations happening. The shapes here on the bottom are changing as it looks.
Yeah, I can see that now. Yep. That looks very tangled. Rapunzel. Gorgeous.
It's got the now it's got the very Cinderella blue and gold and rose gold and
gorgeous.
So, all right. Well, thank you for joining, Todd. Thank you to the audience for joining. I'm going to run the end credits. I want to get some pictures of it.
Sounds great.
Figure out about how to get out of the park as socially distanced as I physically can.
And we'll keep moving is the most important. You know, even if there's a crowd, you got your mask on and you're safe.
You can't move it. You can't keep moving when you're in line for the monorail. You can't keep moving when you're in line for the ferry boat.
Well, they have you 6 feet apart, though, don't they?
But again, it's a matter of other guests observing the rules.
Correct.
And I've seen a lot of observation of the rules the last week when I visited the parks. And I saw a lot less yesterday, and I've seen a lot less here at Magic Kingdom today.
Yeah, see, that's not a good sign. So.
And I was going to say, I have a video that covers the subject. It goes like this.
That's a little creepy, don't you think?
I didn't think you had access to that.
I have access to that. Indeed.
Oh, good Lord. I'm actually editing John Barrymore right now for Ethel Barrymore comes out tomorrow. So since you plugged me, I'll plug me also.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm going to log off. I'm going to put the end credits up. Everybody, we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.